Okay, well, we are back here to discuss what is coming, what is going to be new now that you know what has happened and how we got to this point in the history of the Center for Hebraic Thought. And to discuss what is coming, what is happening, I have brought on the new executive director for the Center for Hebraic Thought, who is Mike Tolliver. Welcome, Mike.
Hello, thank you. Super excited for what's coming here for the center and to kind of get everybody up to speed on it.
Yeah, and I think it suffices to say that if it weren't for Mike, I don't know if there would be the renewal of the center because a lot of that energy comes from his side as somebody who just emailed me out of the blue and said, "Hey, what are you doing with the center, and can we make it happen again?" Right, and so we're very appreciative of all the work that Mike has done behind the scenes here. Mike, you have your own interest in Hebraic thought and thinking philosophically about the Bible. Maybe you could tell us really quickly about the work you've done and why you're interested in this.
Yeah, so I have master's in divinity, theology, and philosophy to this point, and both the theses that I wrote for the master in theology and the master in philosophy focused on Hebraic thought before I really knew to call it that
Hmm.
even. And you are responsible for my getting a master's in philosophy, by the way, an offhanded conversation that we had at ETS back in 2011.
Which I
Um,
barely remember.
but thank you very much for that. It ended up resulting in about a decade of teaching as an adjunct in the field of philosophy. But the two specifically theses that I wrote, one was looking at the interpretive method of the New Testament authors and showing that it was appropriating the prophetic method to critique the Second Temple period methods of interpretation. So, using your terms, I would say that the New Testament authors were Hebraic, not Judaic,
Hmm.
and that distinction is significant. And then my master's in philosophy focused on the interaction between ancient Israel and the pre-Socratics, basically saying that many of the pre-Socratics up till Parmenides seem to exhibit an affinity for, if not an outright flavor of, Hebraic thought themselves. And where did that come from? And yeah, all that good stuff. So
Yeah, so you're not just an executive director. You have skin in the game of the actual conceptual world of what we're doing here as well. So that's great. So I guess one thing we need to do is to say, there are changes coming, and some nothing that anybody would consider wildly different than what we've been doing with the center, but maybe new extensions and new plans that extend naturally from the work we've already done. So what would you see as the biggest showstoppers of those things coming?
yeah, so the first is the work that's been done to create the two main facets of the center. So the Center for Hebraic Thought proper, but then also the biblical mind. There's been really great work that's been done through both of those, and so we're going to kind of like formalize those two with the biblical mind aimed at the broader church as well as students in Bible college or seminary and their professors. And then the Center for Hebraic Thought is really going to focus on the audience of the scholars themselves. What is an opportunity to advance their work, to commission new work, to really sort of raise the level of respectability of Hebraic thought in an academic environment that really doesn't value it currently.
Hmm.
And so those are going to be the two primary audiences. And it doesn't mean that they can't cross over. As a matter of fact, our hope is that it does.
Hmm.
But we're really going to formalize that distinction. And then once we've kind of dialed in those audiences, we're really going to up our offer to what we can provide those audiences. And what I mean by that is providing really good, high quality content for free, to those people for use in the pews, in the classroom, and then to advance their careers. That includes, very tightly packaged multimodal courses. So ways that you can engage with the content in many different ways, whatever your preferred style is. But then also, actually, we want to provide a scholarship to students in the humanities who want to get their PhD in something connected to Hebraic thought. That's a significant thing that is coming to advance that scholarship and the students that are excited to build a career around it. But then also for the scholars that are currently writing, to give them the widest possible platform for their content, and to do so in a way that advances their career, that pays them maybe a little better than they would get otherwise. But those things, we're all going to do those things now as an independent nonprofit. And so that's maybe the biggest under the hood change to the center that I think we need to communicate to folks, because it's a big difference.
Yeah. The big plans, you can imagine PhD scholarships every year, which is exciting to help fund people in ways that we were not funded. We had to self-fund or find other forms of funding, but to actually help fund people to do this kind of work. And maybe even an annual conference. I mean, we have lots of ideas on the horizon, but we're doing this as an independent nonprofit organization with a board, which you'll be able to see on the website, all those people who are involved. It's exciting to have lots of people who are doing real work and are influential in biblical scholarship and otherwise in the theological world, who are excited to join in. That was the biggest encouragement to me, Mike. You being excited about it, that made me initially excited, but then it's been even more exciting to see other colleagues and friends join in and say, "Oh, this is good. This is a great thing," and actually putting their own time in with us. Anything else we need to preview for the future?
Well, I would say that there are going to be some immediate changes that folks will see that are very visible. And, the first is we are actually redesigning our website. We're hoping to make some navigation improvements. We're hoping to make it clear that focus of the respective audience is very easy for people to identify and engage with that content. So that's coming here in the next week or two. I mean, it's you'll see it. Additionally, then we're also launching our first capital campaign. And that's a way that is very easy for people to partner with us. I'm really excited about that campaign. And you don't have to have millions of dollars to participate in this work. We're literally building this plan around micro donations. The more people that we can get with even a small amount of skin in the game, the better. And so that's something that we hope to have launched on Giving Tuesday here coming up right at the end of 2024.
And you can hear that Mike is not only an academic, but he's also an entrepreneur and a business owner, and he thinks strategy, and which is what we've desperately needed as well at the center, is somebody who can think strategically and execute on all fronts. So it's been great to have Mike involved all the way through. All right. Anything else besides that we need to say before we check out? Because our next episode we'll talk about what do people want from us? Like how can we serve the church and serve the broader community, the broader academic and non-academic community with the center? What else do we need to tell them before we get there?
I think that's it. We're good.
That's it. Excellent. All right. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.